It's different, isn't it?
It's odd.
It's a bit weird.
Just a tad.
Very.
Welcome to Bragging Rights on video. For anyone that's actually watching, yeah. I'm lost for words. I'm genuinely lost for words. I never thought we'd end up on video. No. I never thought we'd actually get past 3 episodes of me and Craig just chatting absolute BS.
I thought you'd get fed up with me, to be fair.
This is Craig's fault.
I mean, I got fed up with you to the point where I've now got 2 people in between me and you.
Yeah.
I think we have got to face facts. I have joked about it before we started recording. I'll mention it now. People are tuning in to watch the Man City game behind us. That's what's going on. I can see it in my reflection. I know it's happening.
Fair.
You format same
We don't know. We don't know if we're allowed to show it yet. So
It's not Man City, sorry.
Definitely not allowed to watch.
It's Manchester Blues.
Yeah. What's this? Pez?
Against,
I used to get on
Madrid Whites.
Yeah, so we've got a new home. We're here at Tribal on Kingswood. This is the new home of the podcast. You'll see at the bottom of the screen just little things about Tribal. And yeah, this episode's sponsored by Ginger Snaps Photography. We'll give a bit more information about them in a little bit, but let's get into it. Who's going first?
I think Dean's
you played
executively decided that we're going first because we played first.
I think we should go first because we didn't concede a try against a low league side.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna press this button, and then it's you two. There you go.
Guys.
Little bit out of line,
Close and
but
personal, isn't it?
I know, and that's Josh. He's like sat on my knee.
go for it.
Yeah.
Tell us about your game.
Let's do it. I was going to say we conceded less when we played York Acorn when we were a less. Was we a lesser team at that point? Probably not. But
Can't remember last played York Acorn.
62-1. They went 1-0 up from a drop goal after about 10 minutes, roughly, I think it was. And they celebrate. I think the guy who scored the drop goal used to play for Rovers in some capacity. And yeah.
Well, we didn't go behind. You did.
There is that, but we only conceded 1 point, didn't we?
Yeah,
We've got a habit of conceding first against York teams and then not conceding.
Yeah,
We'll
seems
get
like
to it in
it.
a bit, won't we?
Absolutely.
But yeah, it was good to see a very, very strong, probably full strength lineup. Dean spoke about it when I messaged it in the group, and he said obviously it's to be expected because they've not played in any of the friendlies, and I think that was one of the pitfalls of doing the competition this way, is that a lot of the higher sides did see it as an opportunity to play an understrength side, if you will, to sort of breed some of the kids and things like that. So, but it was good to see we didn't, and I think we took full benefit of that.
I think it worked on a couple of fronts that you've just mentioned. I mean, first of all, it was great for us as fans to see all of our new signings, to see pretty much what I would expect to be our starting 17 most weeks when we need it. And I know we've alluded to the fact in the past that we would maybe have a rotation this year, we'd be able to drop players in and out, so we won't always need the best 17 playing. But it was good for that. It was great for the fans to see it, but it was also good to show that we was taking the competition seriously. Like, if you don't take the competition seriously in the early stages, you can fall upon a banana skin and end up in trouble. And I know we're on about Rovers, but that's literally what's happened with Castleford. Not taking away that they was very poor, but they have found themselves against and lost against a low league side, and now they're out the cup. And it was nice to see us not doing that. So yeah, I was pleased with the team that was named. I was pleased with the team that played.
Yeah, I'd like to think that Peters is targeting the Challenge Cup. We spoke about it when we did our predictions and things like that, and I think it was Dean, you said you've got Rovers to win. Did you say the cup, or was it Jimmy?
I've got him to win the cup as
No,
well.
I've got Wire to win the cup.
I've got Rovers to win the cup.
Yeah, it was me and Jimmy.
Yeah, like, obviously, is he seeing that? You said last week, Josh, that it was maybe not feasible that we reach a grand final 2 seasons in a row, and maybe he is targeting the Challenge Cup, but I guess we'll see as the season goes on.
Absolutely.
But yeah, moving on to the game, the first 20 minutes was a little bit hit and miss. I think we sort of got sucked down to their level, didn't we? Few errors and stuff like that, but then we seemed to smarten up not long after that. So
Does that make you laugh? Because I was thinking about this when I was comparing notes earlier. Do you think we'll ever change and not get sucked into the other team's game plan? we've done it forever, and even as a very good team last year, we've still done it. And we spent podcast after podcast last year saying, opening 15 minutes against Cass, against this team, whoever, we really got sucked in and we tried to battle and we didn't play our rugby. And we did the exact same thing again against the Championship club. It didn't matter in the end with the end result.
That could be said about all teams this weekend, though. All did it. We'll get on to that. Saints, I've heard, did it a little bit against West Hull.
Cass definitely did
Cass
it.
definitely did it.
And by all accounts, Catalan did it as well.
I think, did Wigan go behind against Sheffield, or it was 6-6?
Not sure. Didn't really see it.
So, all Super League teams, I think, have done it this weekend, so it's not.
Yeah, a
just
bit of a
Rovers.
slow start,
Yeah.
maybe pinch of salt on it. Yeah, it makes sense.
I think it is a bit ingrained in us, like you say. We just seem to do it all the time, don't we? But like you say, we came better, and we reap the rewards for that. But the commentary, I don't know if it was Paul Cook. He was saying that Willie Peters was very, very frustrated by that first 20 minutes, and I guess in the past where we've done that, the coaches haven't really shown that outward emotion or that sort of frustration, whereas Peters has. Is that a good thing, do you think?
I think so. I think we're at a point in time where we was a very good team last year that went quite far and came very close. I think there's a lot of expectation on us this year. Expectation that we're not used to feeling. And perhaps I'd imagine, not even perhaps, I'd be pretty certain to bet a bit of money on this, that there was a very set game plan of how we was going to go out there, how we was going to blow York away and exactly what was going to do. And judging by what the commentary said about Peter's reaction and the way he was being a bit animated on the sidelines, we obviously didn't follow what he asked us to do. We got sucked into their game plan, and that isn't what's needed. And if you're going to truly be that ruthless professional side that beats everybody, then the way to do it is to do it against every team from the kickoff.
From the first start, yeah, sure. So I thought the game was very, very physical, but we knew it would be. Obviously, we saw from York in the Amsterdam Challenge where, even though it was kids, there was still, they were folding people in tackles and there was hits going in left and right. And is it Atta Hingano, their number 6? He was just hitting everything that moved.
Big lad, isn't he?
He was
For a six,
super.
he's a
For a
big
6,
lad.
he was
I
absolutely
was so up
super.
for it as well.
Yeah,
He's like,
definitely.
anyone run at me. It was great to see.
I reckon if he'd gone one-on-one with JWH, I reckon he'd have took him.
I'm not going to commit to that, but I'd give it a good go.
I like Mick
Yeah.
Shane on McAlorum as well.
Yeah, Mickey Mack got
It was
sucked
quite
into
early,
that.
wasn't it? Yeah, he got well sucked into that, and he bit as well.
Yeah, it was in that first 20 minutes, and that just, I suppose, is one of the negative sides of McAlorum. His temperament. He has got a very, very short fuse, and hopefully that's not going to cost us throughout the season. But
You've had good discipline these last year, 2 years. You don't want that creeping in, because I think you said it just then. You ain't got the element of surprise anymore. People are going to take you seriously from here on in, and if they know they can wind you up as well, they're going to use that, especially against Mickey Mack. Yeah,
There's nowhere for us to hide now. Look, we don't know what the season will bring, and obviously we hope.
I was not put the phone on airplane mode.
Wow,
It is on airplane mode, I thought.
that was bizarre.
Wasn't it?
We hope for a phone call.
That was my chiropractor.
Oh, very nice.
I thought that was our first live caller.
Yeah.
It's not actually live.
I've got a back.
No, I think that, the point I was trying to make there was we didn't expect to be this team, but as you've just said, you aren't going to catch anyone unawares this year no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And you almost become, and I don't want to say we've become a Wigan, so take this with a pinch of salt, but you almost become a bit like a Wigan or a Warrington or a Saints where all the other teams are trying to get themselves built up to play you. In the change room beforehand, it is a big game, and there's no reason we can't turn these over. Let's go and slay the Giants kind of point of view. And if they then target a weak point, we've got maybe if it's McAlorum and he's getting hot-headed and he's getting caught up a bit too quickly, then it will become somewhere they'll target in.
Yeah.
So it was gutting to see.
Yeah. Just quickly on that point about upping your game for the top teams, if you will. Again, take that with a pinch of salt. But we always seem to do it against teams like Saints and Wigan when we were, I won't say languishing, but when we were sort of mid-table and we were, we'd beat Wigan or Saints one week and then the next week, no offence to these teams, but we'd lose to a Cass or a Wakefield, and that sort of, I think that's where a lot of our pessimism comes from as Rovers fans, isn't it? But yeah, I thought Mikey picked up where he left off. Like, he was involved in everything.
I'm waiting for the reaction from, it might not be you two, it might be somebody online, but oh, it was only York. Nah, they was up for it. They were going really hard, and Mikey just appeared like he hasn't missed a step.
Yeah,
If anything, he looks fitter and leaner.
He surprised me because I thought with him, when we touched on this at the back end of last season, when it was me who questioned, why is he having this op now and not when he had his op?
Yeah.
Why not did he pull out of the test squad so he was ready for the start of the season? Don't look like it's affected him, so
yeah.
shut up, Dean.
He was on fire.
Yeah.
I think Deggs is going to bring you some humble pie
Okay.
a bit later on, if you want it anyways.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
not, send it to me. I'll eat it. Yeah, first half overall, I think it was very, very solid, and I think we were both pretty happy from what we saw, especially in that second sort of 20.
Yeah, the opening 15 to 20, a bit disappointment. The way we then turned around after that and the way we played, no complaints. The only point I wanted to make on the first half is still a bit of an open question for me. Not so much the opening 15-20 where I would say we tried too hard. In the second 20 of the first half, we was really throwing the ball around. And it's a bit different. That's not trying too hard. That was sort of playing that attacking flow in rugby that we've sort of got a little bit famous for. You know, being crowned sort of the entertainers, and that commentary likes to go on about how much we like to do that. And the commentary couldn't really make its mind up which one they wanted. Yeah. The 1 minute they were saying, God, Rovers are trying too hard here, they're trying to do everything that they can. And then the next minute they was going, that's why you watch this team, aren't they amazing? The inside ball, the offloads, the step, the bit of magic that you see. And I was like, make your mind up, which one is it? Because we still need to find that balance. We need to get that match fitness and see where we're going to be this year. But even the commentary was a bit confused because it was a bit of a tale of two halves in the first half itself.
Yeah, like half of half. I know what you mean. But
Quarter, if you will.
I actually did have a note written down. I haven't written it down on here, it's on my other one, but it was like we expected, the commentary expected us to score every single time we had the ball. Even if we had the ball in our 10, it's like we know Rovers can score from here and things like that. And I thought it discredited York a little bit because, as you've stated and Dean stated, they were up for it. And, you know, you've got to earn scoring a try from 90 metres. And when you score a try from 90 metres, usually it's a breakaway or an interception or something like that. But I just felt it was a little bit harsh on York.
It was, and I think that's something that, again, we're going to have to get used to this year. We are not going to be getting much favourable commentary when we're playing some of the teams that aren't going to be performing, or if we do play teams from a low league. It's going to be expected that we're going to blow teams away because of what we achieved last year, or what we very nearly achieved, if you want to be a bit picky about it. So we're just going to have to get used to that, I think.
You just took the words out of Jimmy's mouth there, what we nearly achieved.
He's going to be so pedantic then, I could see it coming.
I could see it.
You won just as much as we did.
We won the plaudits of the rugby league world.
We won Man of Steel.
That means nothing.
No, one.
I know,
player,
I'm just trying to...
one player, one man of steel.
Who played for our team. So because we play as a team. You guys didn't know about this because you didn't do it last year. But because we play as a team, one wins, we all win. But yeah, that wraps up the first half, doesn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
First half.
I am timing us, don't worry, we've got a couple of minutes.
All right, fair enough.
There's not a lot to really say about this.
We lost 4 minutes while your chiropractor rang you.
Got a bad back.
It's old age, mate.
It is old age. And rugby.
I'm having that.
For the swear jar.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you can't sweat. It's on video now.
Oh, we've got live proof now.
Interrupting us again.
I know, again. So we'll
Go on.
add a minute
Go on,
on.
press your
Add a
button
minute on,
again.
even though
There
it was
you
only
go.
20 seconds.
You're on screen.
God's sake. But yeah, there's not really a lot to say about the second half, apart from it was professional and it was clinical. I don't really think I can expand much more on that.
I mean, the only word I'd used it, similar thing, I thought we was ruthless. I thought we did what we've just spoke about. The second half, pretty much everything we touched turned into something good. Every chance we got, we really nearly got a try or got one. But
Took you a while to figure out and click.
Yeah.
But once you did, you found your rhythm.
New combinations.
Yeah.
Innit?
Any mistake they made, we pounced on.
Yep.
Anything they did that even give us the slightest chance, any sniff, we took it. And I thought that, yeah, this is what you're meant to be doing. And then the scoreline at the end still seemed realistic. It showed that York could put in a fight against a good side, but it also showed that we weren't messing around and that, we meant business.
I think it flattered us a little bit, to be honest. I think 44 points against York, I think it was more of a fitness thing, and that took its toll, but I think it was a very harsh scoreline on York, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, perhaps.
I mentioned about being clinical. Now, obviously, that wasn't every set, and you spoke about we took opportunities when they made errors. And it wasn't even the fact that we were scoring when they were making errors. When they were making errors, we was turning them round and was pinning them in their own 10, 20 metre zone with some tough defence, and it was great to see. And Tanganoa put that shot on. And even I felt that. That was a bit grim, wasn't it? But I think the highlight of it all for me, in terms of the clinical side of things, was the Mikey Lewis try from the tee-ball.
Yeah.
It reminded me very much of what's it called, a 6-3-1 player, 3-6-1 in baseball, which is like all moving parts. You probably won't know. You'll have to Google it. But
I'll have to ask Jeeves this one, aren't I?
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course I do.
Fair enough, yeah. So it's like, obviously the pitcher's usually on the mound, but then the ball goes to the first base, he throws it to the second, pitcher runs to first base and gets to it.
I mean, I know what try you mean. I just didn't know the comparison. But
But that's what I mean. All the moving parts have to be in the right place at the right time for that to come off.
oh, it was class.
That was clinical, and I think it is down to Peters. Like you said, we haven't got that element of surprise now. Teams know what they're playing against, and what was I going to say? Totally lost it.
Spit it out, lad.
That's it. It's up to Peters to come up with these different training ground moves, if you will, to keep the opposition guessing. Because that tee-ball try was not something we'd done before or that I remember us doing last season.
No, I've not seen. And then it's up to your halves. So Mikey, again, good game. May, who I thought was class on the night. May had a very good game as well. For them to decide when to implement those moves as well.
Yeah. The two players I picked out was Reese and Jez.
Fair. I picked out two players as well. Reese as well. I think we had a bit of a conversation a couple of weeks ago on this podcast, pre-season, where we spoke about the rumours about Reese not being happy, and he didn't get a 1-17 share, and he probably expected to get...
He did, didn't he? He got 17.
He got 17, sorry. He didn't get a 1-13 share, I should say. And he probably expected to get one, but that's how tough the competition is. If there was a man on Friday night that was saying, look at me now, I should be starting for you, regardless of the opposition, it was Reese Martin.
Definitely.
He was unstoppable at times running onto them balls.
Yeah, like Tanganoa only played 20 minutes, and that was down in part to Reese Martin. And we've got two very, very similar players there who like to run a line on the edge and like to hit gaps, which is obviously the aim of rugby league, isn't it? But some players like running at people, whereas Tanganoa and Reese, they're like hitting these sort of overs lines.
Yeah. Great line runners.
Yeah, great line runners. Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I could have mentioned a few Rovers players. I agree with your point. Jez did get man of the match. He was so influential when he came on, which, reminded me again of that Leeds game he won last year for us.
Yeah.
But the second player I wanted to mention, a bit of credit to York as well, was to mention Jesse D. He was everywhere for them.
Is he the prop?
He plays...
He was second row, wasn't he?
Second row.
He plays second row. He has played hooker in the past as well. He was just everywhere. And I know we said about Hagano putting shots on, but if there was a man that stuck his shoulder into every tackle, if there was a man that popped up, if there was a man that got knocked down, immediately got up and made a tackle from marker or chased back, it was him. And he also had a hand in a lot of their attacking moves, and I felt like he looked so strong. He was like the danger man, and the team were rallying around him. He was the first one to put his hand on the young lad's head and say, get it up after they've scored, or come on, we've got this going on, get back, get set. And I just thought, he is, and I've seen him in the past, he's been a good player, but he was the man of the match for me, given the circumstance. And I know it always goes to the winning team, and Jez was amazing, but yeah, Dees was fantastic, he really was. So I wanted to give him a bit of a shout out because it was that good.
Well, funny story about that. When I read it, I actually thought you meant Jesse Sue, but I just spelt it wrong because I didn't read your message properly. I didn't realise there was a Jesse D on their team.
Sue was all right, but
bad
no,
for
it
me.
was Jesse.
But yeah, overall, very happy to keep them scoreless in the second half and only 2 points and tryless overall was fantastic, especially in defence when we've not played for a long time. But yeah, it's just good to have competitive rugby back from a Rovers standpoint.
Look, good to be back. Makes me all the more excited for this week. And yeah, pleased and not really much to comment. I mean, a little bit, as we wrap up, a little bit frustrated with two players getting 3 points on a disciplinary.
Yeah.
But
Mikey's was deserved. I can't remember what.
striking, wasn't it, for Mikey?
It was just, it was the Harris one, wasn't it, when he went...
Yeah, and then Davis got
just,
3 points.
Just no need for it.
So,
as well,
That was silly.
Yeah.
There was no need for it.
aside from that, really pleased. Can't wait for Friday.
Yeah, bring it on.
Are you finished now?
Oh, you woke up now?
Yeah.
Have you
Sorry,
finished your phone call?
I didn't take a phone call.
Putting your phone on charge.
I need to go put my phone on charge. It's the
Squeaky
first
floorboards.
time we've done this.
You can't see because Jimmy
I won't
moved the
mind, but he
camera,
said,
but
bring your chargers or make sure your phones are charged.
Are ours charged?
Mine and yours are, yeah, Dean, yeah.
mine's fine in my pocket.
So, yeah.
Yeah, 3310.
So yeah, where's your t-shirt? You promised you'd wear a So Yeah t-shirt.
Funny story. I ordered one, and it came, and it was like a tent. I ordered my size and it is like.
Well, he did say he was on a diet, so
Just so you know,
I haven't lost that much yet.
your time's counting down. I'm counting this against the FC drivel.
all right.
Well, Dean's doing FC on his own.
Shock.
Yeah.
We're going to have to. I didn't go, did I?
No.
Yeah, James, what did you do instead?
I took Dean's daughter, my niece, to London to watch Hamilton at the theatre.
So it seems like you've got your priorities in order, Dean, and James, you don't.
James.
So when I went to London to take Mason to watch the wrestling, I was a bad guy because I didn't go to Rovers.
Wrestling's fake, though, innit?
You watched a stage show.
Yeah, I also watched Raw today. So
Well, there we go then.
Shut up. Dean, why don't you tell us what happened in Featherstone?
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Did you actually?
Well, we won a competitive game, so yeah.
2 wins on the bounce now. It's
Yeah.
more than Rovers can say.
Bricklayers.
Bricklayers.
Wow.
I loved it. It was great. We walked into the ground about 15 minutes before kick-off, and as you walk into the car park fair, you can see the far end, the far side, opposite touchline, and there was a group of about 200-300 York fans just chanting away, and they didn't stop all game. It was brilliant. I'm glad they had the moment. We'll talk about them first. I'm glad they had the moment with a try. It was like, that was proper amateur rugby. Everyone from the touchline ran on, celebrated like they won the cup. You just needed to give them a trophy just to lift because it was that much of a moment. Running back to the fans, arms up, cheering away.
Going to go for the rare self-burn here. If it was that easy to get a trophy for one try, we'd be all over it, wouldn't we?
Just thoroughly enjoyed it. On us, it was job done. No, I think Holmes picked up a knock, so I don't know how severe or not severe that is. So, but I think relatively injury-free out the game, which is a plus. Yeah, just I can't stop saying I just thoroughly enjoyed the afternoon. But
Sometimes I like to ask this question when
Go on.
one of you makes it and one doesn't. And I don't mean it to be negative, but yeah, you enjoyed it, great. Did anyone not stand out? Was anyone poor? Because we was fair. McAlorum let us down. And I wondered if you had the same with anyone.
if I'm picking one, it'd be Cade Cust. He struggled with how slow they made it and how niggly there was and how in the face there was. And it was, you could tell we was playing an amateur team. And it felt like we had an amateur ref as well, a very skinny 10. He let a lot go when in Super League, they wouldn't have let it go. And I think Cust struggled to acclimatise to that.
Who was the ref? Do we know?
I honestly
Was it
don't know his name.
an amateur?
I can't say I've seen him before. Ref a
I
Super
don't think
League game.
Featherston's pitches are full 100 metres anyways.
It's
so that
definitely
probably
not. It
don't
was
help.
very skinny 10. It was very boggy. The weather was
Always is.
rubbish.
Yeah.
But that's no excuse. You've still got to play what's in front of you and beat what's in front of you. And we did that. But I enjoy watching the kids because their game plan was to rough us up. And it didn't really work. The kids, when there was little scuffles in back play, it was Brad Fash that got sucked into one. The kids didn't.
Shock.
Yeah.
Changes.
The kids stood up well and didn't get sucked into this niggly, horrible game that they was trying to play, like late shots, roughing in the face and stuff like that. And as a young kid, they could have done. They could have bit and let it get on top of them, but they didn't. They just got on with the game and, yeah, got through. That's the most important thing.
It's part of the problem of the fact that when you, and again, it's not an excuse. It genuinely isn't an excuse. But when you play your full pre-season or you do your full pre-season on a 4G pitch, which is perfectly flat, there's no bogginess, your feet don't get stuck in the ground ever, and then your first competitive game, your only friendly is Cass. The pitch wasn't bad, but obviously it's not 4G level. And then you play at Fev, which is, I don't think I've ever been to Fev and it not be boggy, even in the summer. You're going to run into problems like that.
I've played on their pitch when I was at school, and that was in like July, and it was boggy. Yeah, I genuinely remember it being quite bad. So there's a point I wanted to make on that though. I think I personally do this every year. I get a bit excited for the start of the season,
Yeah.
and then the first month of the season shows some quite poor rugby because we're not up to match fitness. Everybody, the full Super League, and then the pitches aren't in great condition. Some of them, some of the ones we get marred by February weather, which can be quite cold and a bit wet coming into March. And so actually your players will learn a lot from being on a boggy pitch like that last weekend so that they can now go, It might be like that at the KC in 2 weeks' time. So
Our players will benefit more from playing that game
Yeah.
than playing at home against a League One team or a Championship team.
absolutely.
So, have you seen the highlights? Have you seen anything of the game?
I've seen the tries.
Okay.
Couple. Yeah, I mean, theirs was, as you said when you messaged me when I was away, you said it was quite fortunate. And it was quite fortunate, but then at the same time, it was poor defense. I can't remember who it was that was defending.
I think it was Holmes who misjudged the kick.
But it had an horrible bounce, and that probably was down to the pitch. But again, not an excuse. I think Martin's second try was, again, fortunate. It kind of went over. It went over.
That was the bomb, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't understand how it bounced the way that it bounced. I was watching it and I was like, how did no one get that? Like, what happened there?
Yeah.
But there was a lot of sloppy tries. I think Cust's try was good. It was a nice, neat offload from Martin.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, they're the only tries that I can really
We
remember.
couldn't really get into a rhythm during, like we spoke about, you getting into when it clicked, you got into a nice rhythm. We couldn't get into that. I don't want to make excuses up for us, but conditions and the opponents didn't allow us to do that. It was, what's the way to say?
Look, it sounds like they disrupted you quite a bit.
Yeah, they
and
did. That was their game plan. Just to, it wasn't to come and play rugby. It
It's the
was
only
coming to
way.
disrupt.
They're not
us.
going to win. They know
No,
that,
they
unfortunately.
knew that.
But it's actually quite interesting the amount of times you see this where a low league side can actually, I think we've said this in the past, drag you down to their level, but also slow you down. Everyone goes on about these Super League sides and the fitness and how that goes to show. You can have a competitive first half, but in the second half, they'll blow you away.
Yeah.
Right? And then the amount of times it doesn't happen because they've dragged you down to their level. And the refs also get in on it, I'll be honest with you. They let the slow play the balls go. They let the lane on go.
He let a lot go.
Yeah,
and the guy did let a lot go.
It does play a part.
Yeah, definitely.
It is the only way, I think, for not even an amateur team, but any lower league team to play against a Super League side, especially beginning of the season when you've had the Super League teams have had a full pre-season. You go on All Live now and read what Cartwright's been saying and saying that he thinks now that our players are NRL level in terms of fitness. Obviously not in terms of playing quality, or they'd be playing in the NRL, wouldn't they? But in terms of fitness, he reckons that our players are at that level. So it is the only way for an amateur semi-pro team to play. You have to just get under our skins, drag us down, do what you need to do to frustrate us in any way possible. Just hold us down, get an elbow in the face, do all that sort of stuff that you get on a Saturday or a Sunday when you play an amateur. And they're not used to it, pro players.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that fact that you just mentioned there, Jimmy. Like, is it necessarily a game plan, or is it what they do week in, week out? Because we've all played the amateur game, and we know when we've
they've got to
played
take it to the extreme,
sort of
haven't they?
sides, you get that niggling, you get an elbow in the face, you get a finger in your mouth, you get a hook or whatever, and
Finger in other places as well sometimes.
Well, yeah, I wasn't going to go there, but yeah. Vapor rub or whatever on the fingers at half time and rubbing it in your eye so you can't see and things like that. Obviously, he's not going to do that in the Challenge
Cup. You are horrible.
I never did any of that.
Yeah, you did.
I did, you're right. But, but yeah, that's what I mean about, like, was it a game plan or was it just
Maybe a
what
bit
they
of both.
do?
Bit of both sounds fair.
Yeah. So
Well, anything else to say about us?
no, not really. There's not. We can't take a lot from it.
Have you not got out, Jimmy?
He needs to go to the
Honestly,
game.
mate, Hamilton was brilliant.
Yeah, well, that's why I thought Dean had rattled through that so you could tell us about Hamilton for a
It
bit.
was really nice to spend a full day with my niece. She loved it, obviously, because I'm the best uncle in the world.
And then give her back at the end.
And then just offload her at the end. Just be like, there you go, see you in a bit.
I heard he didn't even stop the car and just booted her out.
See you, bye.
Yeah.
2 points. We did pick up a couple of points on the ban. I don't know what it is. What it's called? Is it points? Ban points?
Penalty
or
points. Penalty points. We've got Jack Ashworth got 3
Yeah,
for contrary behaviour.
I can't remember that.
That'll be like mouthing off and stuff, won't it? Surely.
Bit of rub on his fingers.
Aiden got 1 for a late contact on a
Yeah,
pass.
that was fair. I remember that.
You got 1 point.
Yeah, 1.
Fair play. 6 points when you get your first ban, and obviously they was wiped clean. So
Yes.
it's only
Common sense has prevailed with that.
it has, but
yeah.
it does make you. I was worried about Mikey. 3 points for this, and then all of a sudden, only takes next couple of games, he ends up with another 3 points for niggling, a late shot. I don't know. He does get himself in a few tussles.
He does have that in his game, doesn't
and
he?
all of a sudden, you're losing for a game.
You're losing for a game, but it could be a game in the cup, and you've got you might have when the draw's made. You might have
tactical.
Wigan or it's
Tactical suspension.
yeah. So
Are you,
on the cup draw,
you're going to
I will be touching on that. 4th round draw made at half time against
Yeah, on Saturday.
St
innit? Yeah.
Salford game, which is on BBC, I believe.
Yep.
On Saturday afternoon. Just want to touch on this. I don't want to go too deep into it. Staveley leaving. I heard today it was mutual decision. Cartwright said there are a few in front of Nick. There was some interest, and he saw a good opportunity at Cass to stake a claim. Not
Makes
much
sense.
else has been
Yeah, of
said.
course it does.
I mean, I ain't got the text because obviously my phone's over there. But I said to you yesterday, was it in this group chat or our other group chat? But the amount of other players that can play second row at FC it's quite deep.
Yeah,
to
there's
be
quite a
fair.
few.
You're not just talking about like Cartwright, Lane, and Holmes. You've got players like Sow that can come in. Fash played at second row against York, and yeah, it's only against York, but he can play there. He has played there before. You've got Jebson, who seems to be that sort of youngster with that bit of favour behind him. There's a decent amount of players that
What
can play
I think
second
about
row.
it as well, because we chatted about it earlier, didn't we, over messaging saying that Staveley looks like he's gone, and there's rumours flying around the internet about why he's gone and he's fallen out. Ultimately, none of it matters. If there's a chance for people that aren't getting first team rugby, and they can get a chance at the start of the season to go and join a team, however good they're going to be, why not take it? And we know Cass looked poor at the weekend, and I know there's a lot of worry about how they're going to go this year. But he's probably guaranteed a starting spot, or at least a bench spot, with the quality he's got. I mean, actually, a relative of mine who plays for Saints, Ben Davies, they've announced today that he's doing a 2-week loan at Cass. It's because he doesn't get first team time at Saints. He only ever gets played when there's injuries or when there's cup games. So you can see why these people go to these clubs if they're going to get first team reps, get put in the shop window perhaps for the next season, especially when they're in the early to mid-20s and they haven't managed to build a full rugby league career as a professional. So I would honestly, it don't matter to me that he's gone. I think he's a good player. There's a lot of potential there. It's a shame you've let him go. But do wish him all the best and hope it works out.
Oh, yeah, I hope the kid makes it, because what we've seen of him, there's a player in there, and I don't know if it is because of these players in front of him, if anything's gone on or whatever it is. Just, I hope the lad finds a success. I think he's got the potential to have.
He has got the potential. Like the few games that I've seen him play, you look at him and think, there's something there. Like you've got written down there, he is 21-year-old. Should he maybe have had a bit more of a kickstart? Yeah, but how long did he spend out last year? This could have been completely different if he wasn't injured last year, because he would have played, and he'd have played the majority of the season, and he would have had a chance to stake his claim as a Super League level player.
Be fair to his age, though. You're not expecting people at 21 across the board to be Super League starting second rows. Your forwards come into the prime as they get older.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, if he'd have had that opportunity last year, but this is the age where, as a player, you're thinking, I need to start getting game time, and if I'm not getting game time, I've got to go somewhere and get game time. It's why you find a lot of players drop down to the Championship if they're not getting game time. And then they might stake the claim there and then come back up, or they might just realise that that's the level that they're playing at.
Well, we've had a few players that have sort of gone to teams of the ilk of like Castleford, haven't we? You look at Will Oakes. He was good on his day. There's a player in there and that, but he just wasn't getting those first team opportunities, and he ended up at Cass. Senior, was it? Senior?
Yeah, Louis Senior.
It was the same, yeah. So, I mean, it does happen, and that they're players that are more established as Super League, Rugby League players. So, but yeah, best of luck to Staveley.
I only went on about it because Dean said he didn't want a deep dive, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to deep dive then.
Of course you did.
Josh does Josh.
Oh, well.
Right, let's touch on our sponsor for the week. So that is Ginger Snaps Photography. I'm going to read something out now. Dan, we know Dan.
Yep.
Yeah, Dan did your photography.
I used this company to be for my own wedding a few years back. I know Dan fairly well, and
So
great guy.
Dan wrote this, and I'm just going to read it word for word.
Okay.
Your wedding deserves the best, and that is Ginger Snap Photography. With over 15 years' experience and 400 plus 5-star reviews, Dan at Ginger Snaps Photography is a trusted name in wedding photography across Hull and East Yorkshire. His natural storytelling style captures every laugh, tear, and unforgettable moment, creating timeless images that you'll treasure forever. Don't settle for anything less than amazing. Book now at gingersnapsphoto.co.uk and let's make your wedding memories last a lifetime. Now, I read that. I asked him to plug himself, and I read that, and I was like, bloody hell, mate, talk about selling yourself.
Did you immediately turn around and go, I might get married now?
But honestly, I've seen he's done 3-4 weddings that I've been to, and seen the photos at the end. He really is that good, and he's not one of these photographers that will just like turn up and look awkward whilst he's there. He gets involved. He makes sure that
He integrates himself really well.
Yeah, he does. He really is good at what he does. So yeah, give him a look. Yeah.
Yep, highly recommended. Great guy, great company, and great end product. So I can say, hand on heart, generally have used this sponsor, and think it's fantastic.
And then we'll move on to the home of the pod. So just so people can see on the screen, Tribal are showing both Hull teams on Friday at 8. Don't know how that's going to work out. They are, there you go, some offers on screen there. Tribal Fridays is every Friday is like happy hour all day. So yeah, you can get some good offers there. And then the main one at the end, Hull FC fans and Rovers fans, they're members, 15% off food and drink orders all season for pass holders. That is subject to making a booking, I believe. Food and drink must be on the same bill. Season passes must be shown. So yeah, just ring up, make a booking, rock up at Tribal with your season pass and get 15% off food and drink. I think that's the main one.
We'll just
is
turn
that
it with our
and
phones.
drink. Like, how many times do you get an offer and it's just food?
You know, that's just great banter. You've missed that.
What?
We'll just bring our phones for our season pass. Can't forget it, can we?
Get off it. You know what winds me up? I bought.
Me and Josh.
I bought Rachel a ticket. Do you know, for the Wigan game? And the ticket is on my phone. But my season pass that got delivered 3 days ago in the post, plastic season pass. Why can't I have my pass on the? I'm going to moan about this all season.
Maybe as a club, you've just got like an overload of all stamps with a queen on you need rid of. So you just want to get them all
We
sent
have
out.
just got a new ticketing system in, so maybe the passes was planned and that was all sorted before this new ticketing system was planned. I don't know.
They
I do
can't
find
be
it a bit
because
odd.
the Meadows have new passes.
We don't know if the SMC have put a new ticketing system in at the stadium.
Yeah, they have Ticketmaster.
No, a new ticket scanner.
They haven't.
All right, okay. I'm just
Well,
trying to make
unless-
up excuses and
On the flip side of this, I did see a bit of a conversation online it was probably Facebook, I don't think it was on the Rovers forum itself, with people asking about, can I actually get a physical pass? I like to collect them, I've had them all my life. My granddaughter likes to have a physical pass, and no, I actually have 6 people in my family, and having all 6 passes on my phone causes me an issue getting through the gates. And I thought, yeah, it's interesting it were there kind of mocking FC for not doing it on the phones, and then you've got
some people
us
do.
blessed Rovers fans that want
Yeah,
a physical pass.
I like it.
Yeah, I get it from like a nostalgia perspective. Like if you're rooting for an old box in 20 years' time and you're like, oh, there's a season pass from 2003 there.
I actually did this the other day. I was rooting through an old. I've got one of them beds that lifts up, and underneath I've just got a load of stuff that I don't need. I have to pause and not swear. A load of stuff that I don't need underneath, and a load of it is just season passes from however many years ago, and it's like the booklets, you know,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you tear the tickets out, and I'm like, why did I not go to Castleford that year? Because I've got the Castleford ticket
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Or why did I not go to the Rovers game that year? Because I've got well, obviously not because you were in like League 7 by that
been
point.
friendly.
But
That's brought back a memory for me that, you used to have the book and rip them out. But
Yeah.
you used to get, as a junior, you used to get the away games, didn't you?
Yeah.
Away game 1, away game 2,
Yeah, and
away
then
game
you used to
3.
rip them out. And I did get rid of mine when I moved house. I think the first time I wasn't bothered about keeping them. But yeah, I do remember going back through and going, oh, wow, you went to a lot of away games that season.
yeah, we still do, don't we? Unfortunately, the amount of money we spend on away games is daft.
Hey,
Yeah.
might be a bit different this year.
Not as much as
So you'll still spend the same amount.
Yeah, true. Come on then, what's next?
Well,
You've got
Josh is
running order, haven't you?
Yeah, Josh is going to have to take lead on this one. Westall.
Westall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give a quick couple of minutes on Westall. I did attend the game on Saturday at Craven Park. It was fantastic. I know that you'll see some things online, or people that watch might have seen that people were still filing into the ground. Actually, in fact, I don't know if it wasn't shown online. I meant if there was any highlights shown afterwards that I've not seen yet. It wasn't actually televised.
I've not seen any.
The kickoff was delayed by the sheer number of people that turned up to watch, which is not only fantastic from a point of how many people locally wanted to come and support. Bit of credit to Saints as well, who to my eye brought 300, maybe more.
Yeah, my friend said 300.
Yeah,
Is that all Saints
300.
brought?
Yeah. I still thought it was quite impressive for the game it was and how far they cut them.
No, but I'm not saying that's a bad thing for a top level Super League club to only bring that many to a amateur team. But when you look at the sheer numbers, I would have thought there would have been a bigger mix.
Few more.
Yeah.
And they kind of pretty much took up 3/4 of the usual away section of the north that we give away fans.
Yeah.
So what happened is, just for anyone that didn't go and want to wear, very briefly, Westhull organised and they arranged with Rovers how it all worked out, and they gave estimates of how many people would turn up. And the estimates were grossly wrong. Yeah. So if they was expecting maybe 1,500, 2,000 at the best, there was, to my eye, 4,000 to 5,000 people there. I'd love to get final figures.
Well, this is so. My understanding is they sold 1,600 tickets.
Yep.
So you would have to look at that from a normal perspective. If you sell 1,600, you might get 150, 200 walking up on the day. So it's no one's fault. They've used a normal sort of system to determine how many people might turn up on the day.
Yeah. And look, and I don't want to go on about that bit too much, but there is a point to it in that a lot of people... So when I turned up 10 minutes before kick-off, the queue was going all the way out the car park, all the way from the West End. What's going on here?
Craig, what are you laughing at,
So
Craig?
Dean sort of, as he walked out, he hit the squeaky floorboard. And then as he was coming back in, he sort of crab walked, like legs akimbo like this, and then still managed to hit the squeaky floorboard, and it just tickled me.
I was too engrossed in my own point to even look at him.
You being self-absorbed.
The point I was trying to make is, what happened is, there was probably well over 1,000 people. The queue went all the way out of the West Stand, all the way out of the car park, all the way up the street and all the way onto Preston Road, right? And this was at 2 minutes to 2 before kick-off. So the decision was made to open the gates, let everybody in for free. And as we've said, we end up with literally 4, 5, might even be close to 6,000 people. The north was full, the west was full. They had to open the east stand.
They weren't planning up in the east, was
No,
they?
there wasn't.
No.
People that came in on my day offs anyways had to switch role and get into helping out. Jason Neverton put a steward's vest on and went and manned the east stand. People from out that I've seen work in the shop for years there came out in high vises and went and stood and helped, right? It was amazing effort to pull together. But the point of all this is, amazing crowd, amazing local support, given the fact that a lot of FC fans might have been away for their own game. If you didn't pay, you can. Yeah. You can send your ticket fee to Westhull. It will probably be their biggest payday ever, but we can help as a community and as a sport, help support a club for years to come now. And we should do that. So if you did get in for free, pay up.
Yeah.
And I actually know of a few people
You would have been prepared to pay because you was going to the game
I know
anyway.
a few
So
people that didn't go and still paid. And still said, I'm going to put my tenner in because I can do it through the Rovers app.
Yeah.
Because I want to support a local club. So that's...
Search Glyn Jones on Facebook as well.
Search Glyn Jones or search Westhull on Facebook and you'll see all these comments about how to do it. Now,
We've shared that as well.
yeah, fantastic. To the game then, which is more important. What a hell of an effort from the Westhull boys. I think I counted up the night before that I knew 5 or 6 of the players from either playing ourselves or just people that I know. Every one of them just deserves every pat on the back and every beer that they got on Saturday night. They stood up to that Saints team in a way that was almost unbelievable. Not that there was like matching them, but physically they stood up to them. Physically they put shots in. There was some amazing shots. I loved there was a bit of aggro in the second half from a professional from St Helens, and every man from Westall was straight in. Like, if this kicks off, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm playing for my brothers here.
One in, all in.
Yeah, and it was a shame for them to not get any points on the board, but I think that actually the scoreline shows just the effort they put in and just how hard working that the Westall team was. Of course, they fell short to a Super League side that have won the grand final in the last 6 years. It's nuts the effort that we saw from that Westall side. So my point being, it was a great day. I'd love to see more of that in the future, and I think it points to the final thing that the league tried to do. What they've done with the Challenge Cup this year has worked.
Yeah.
It has made Super League clubs go to lower teams. Not in every instance, but in the ones where it's worked, it's driven big crowds, it's brought money into the local sides, and it was damn fun to watch.
We was criticised this time last week. We was criticising it, saying, "No, it's not really fair that York have got to go to Featherstone," and I think Goal had switched their game at Wakefield, and whoever Leeds were playing, they switched it to Headingley, and we was like, "This isn't right. This was meant to be at their
West
place,
Warriors,
at
I
their
think?
patch." And yeah, we were talking about West being moved to Craven Park, weren't we? And this don't feel right. It's not worked. They're going to change it next year. And then after the weekend, I think everyone who went to any of them games is like, "Yeah, this has got to stay. This is worked." Maybe a few little tweaks, but yeah, on the whole, it's worked.
And then final point for me on Westall as well, it was really nice to see a lot of ex-players and current players in around the crowd, people that had just gone as fans to watch that paid the money. But it was really nice to see Jez and Mikey Lewis in the crowd, both as ex-Westall players as well. Nice to see them, and obviously posing for photos with a lot of young kids and stuff. But the fact they'd gone to support that old club and come and sat in the main stand was great to see.
Good. Yeah, I like that.
Well done, Westall, I think is my point.
Yeah.
What's next?
Predictions?
Ooh,
My time to shine.
your time to shout. You got the fixtures written
I
down?
haven't opened the right page. Yep.
Good.
I have.
Good. I've got them on here.
Well, I beat you to it because I wrote them down earlier. So this week is Thursday night Super League opener.
Can I ask a question?
No,
No.
Okay.
you're going to anyway. But yeah, go on.
Go on then.
Can we say a different prediction on here to what we've put on the app for the competition we're running?
No.
No.
Okay. I'll be watching out for fiddling on that.
Well, I'll have them all documented
I
anyway.
might forget my phone's over there.
I'm gonna
forget before I put them in.
You won't, because I'm going to circle them.
Oh, okay.
So
Fair enough.
I'll
Thank
message you all. So this week, season opener, Thursday night, Wigan versus Lee.
Point out as well, Wigan announced today that they've just topped 20,000 tickets for this game.
Wow.
Impressive.
Yep.
Very, very well done to both Wigan and Lee.
It's good that.
Yeah.
Go on then. We'll start over there and we'll just work our way
Start over
around.
here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's not how Craig was planning this.
no, it wasn't.
You've
I had it
thrown
all.
him right off.
No, because this has been
yeah.
like my section since the start, right?
So yeah.
So yeah, and you've just all scuppered me. I was on a proper roll, and I
Go on
thought,
then. Sorry.
will
So
be.
Dean, crab walking, right, didn't scupper you, but this does.
I wasn't talking at that
It
point.
did scupper him. He had a laughing.
Yeah, you
fit,
interrupted
remember?
my point.
Yeah, but that's not me, is it?
Scuppered you that bad, you scuppered me.
Do you want me to do this or not?
Not really, no.
Come on, Craig's got to go. His granddad's outside.
Wigan versus Lee. I've gone for Lee. I'm going to upset the apple cart a little bit here. I've gone for Lee.
I mean, they've lost pretty much their entire middle of the pack.
Yeah, but it was all old, weren't they? And they've all gone to Hull, so...
Wigan.
Wigan.
1-0
to me, I reckon. Next game is Catalan versus Hull. I've gone for Catalan.
I've gone for Catalan, but I would say if you was opening at home, I would maybe tip towards you a bit more. I wouldn't expect Catalans travel as well, and you're a bit unknown at the moment, but because you are in the south of France, we'll go with Catalan.
We signed all these quality old players as well, haven't we, sir?
I've gone all.
No, you put an extra word in there. I didn't say quality.
I've gone all. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, actually. I think...
It's a hope that kills you.
No, I think this is a perfect time to play him. There wasn't very...
Yeah.
Do
you know what the
it was
worst
far
bit?
from impressive last week.
The worst bit about all this is next week, when he's wrong, because I'm going Catalan, everyone gets to see his face.
You can see how pissed off he is now.
When he looks
Just been
desolate.
interrupted. You know, the guy who says,
Sorry.
don't interrupt.
Sorry.
No, I think Farge is out injured. Tompkins is a major doubt. I think they're missing a couple of the new centres as well. If there's a better time, there isn't a better time to play Catalan. It's our type of weather down there. It's not really warm. It's not. It's cold. It's not great. I'm trying to convince myself here. By the way, I'm tipping us 2-point win.
Fair.
And that'll be on the app.
Do we have to declare the points that we're...
On the app.
I wasn't
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
so I have written
you've
down.
written them down.
Over to Jimmy, who won't go to York Acorn at Featherstone, but who will go to Catalan.
I'm not going to Catalan.
You just said you was going.
Going Catalan, as in he's going that way.
No, I'm not. No. Because Dean just told me how many players are out injured, so I'm going all.
Oh, 10 cut.
Yeah, plus I've not put anything in on the app.
Imagine
yet,
having to be made a turncoat to come back onto your own club.
I mean, ordinarily...
Levels to this.
Kiri is playing
ordinarily,
now.
right? The way that we played last season, we've not really had a tough task, really, in pre-season. We played a cast team they've been cobbled together over the last, half of pre-season, and then we played York Acorn. It's not like we've been tested, so I can't be too confident in what we've got. Yeah, I think we'll be massively improved on last season, but this is first game. It's on their patch. So I would ordinarily have gone for them, but
Get that noted before he changes his
Dean
mind
just
again.
I've already done it.
switched me across to FC. Yeah.
Proper English.
So, all.
KR and Cass. Gone for KR.
Wait there, does he not get to pick? Did you not pick between Hull and Catalan?
Yeah?
Yeah, but we're going in order.
Oh, all right, sorry.
So it was just before you interrupted
On
Dean.
that one, don't worry, we just missed Josh out. Yeah.
Oh, God, it's digressing.
Honestly. I would have been trying to banter. Rovers.
Rovers.
20. By 20?
By 20.
Wow, is that it?
Oh, Cass are awful.
Exactly, is that it?
Yeah, that's
what
what I mean.
Jimmy
Is
was
that
saying.
it? Like,
No, I think 20 is a big margin.
he has as well. Gone 20.
Fair enough. Next one, Leeds Wakefield. Leeds.
I thought this was tough, actually.
Yeah.
Wakey could do the upset, and I have gone Leeds. And my head's telling me to change it, but I'm going to stick with it.
Quick before I cycle
I know
it.
I'll have to change it on the app as well, but I've said it now, Leeds.
Leeds. Just.
Leeds.
Saints, Salford. I've gone for St Helens.
Yeah, Saints.
I've gone Salford.
Ooh.
Salford. I think this pre-season, what's happened to them this pre-season is really going to, give them some grit. Yeah.
Galvanise, that's a fantastic word, Dean, by the way.
Cheers, mate.
You're
Not
welcome.
like me.
And finally, Huddersfield versus Warrington. I've gone for Warrington.
Yeah, Wolves as well.
Yeah, me too.
This is harder than it seems, I think.
It's not.
No,
No, you're
Warrington
right,
always
no.
start off bad.
And Huddersfield have got that
they?
absolute superstar on loan, haven't they? Danny Richardson from Rovers.
Well, and they've got that Burgess brother, you know. Warrington.
I'd almost have respected you a little bit if you'd gone for Huddersfield.
But typically, Wolves,
Almost a little bit.
Warrington do start off slower, don't they? And it is at Huddersfield, but I mean, I've tipped Huddersfield to finish bottom. I think they'll be like us last year. They'll win 2 or 3 games.
I've got on bottom on ice. I ain't going to start thinking they're going to win games this early. Look
That's that age
how
old-
long it took you.
That's that age-old story, though. Oh, sorry, I thought Jimmy was going to explode then.
Wow.
What?
You can't just throw shade on me like this late in the day.
Well, it wasn't just at you. You can share it with Dean.
I wasn't listening.
I don't want it. He don't like me now. I interrupted him.
But yeah, it's that age-old story of the bigger clubs starting slow because they like to hit the peak later on in the running.
Oh, well, then you'll definitely win your first game.
Calling Catalan a big club.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Of our prediction league, we're quite healthy on numbers, aren't we? We're doing
Yeah,
all right.
so last check, 17 people now in the predictions league. I believe everybody has locked in their predictions already, which is great to see.
That's a lie because I am.
I am.
I am.
Wow.
Everyone's locked him in except
Everyone here.
I literally checked before we came out, and I'm wondering if I don't have the notifications for people submitting checked. I'll check that. I'm sure it looked all green to me. But anyways, we have got 17 people. Clearly, people haven't put the predictions in.
You're colourblind. Like, 'cause green and red it's very...
No, I'm actually just lying, but I'm trying to know.
Fair
what to
enough.
follow through. No, I did think most people had, but we'll check it again. But yeah, it's a nice, healthy league. There's a lot of people in. The way the points work in that are a bit different. There is a point for getting it right, but you can get bonus points and half points for being within a certain margin. And whilst we probably won't always share what our winning margin is on the pod, you will be able to see them on the league.
Yeah.
We will be able to see it from the people that have thankfully joined, which we're really grateful for, and especially you guys that are part of Patreon and that are paying. It'll be nice to see how you get on throughout the year.
New member today.
Wow. And I've got a
You'll
fact.
never guess.
Rachel, because you brabbed her.
No. If there's one friend that we've got who never pays for anything, who is it?
John Cena. Oh, well, welcome to Patreon, Mr. Glad to have you on board. No, my final point on that is just going back to last
He's not
year's
coming
league.
on the pod if he wins.
Yeah, well, he is.
No, rules right, and I'm getting to this because we're putting these rules in place. The winner does come on, and just like last year, we had a forfeit that Jimmy has to do. That is still very much in plan.
Yep.
Salford.
Where we're aiming now for the Salford game at home for Rovers, where Jimmy will turn up in his FC shirt. So we will keep you updated on that as he was
YFC
last
shirt
year's
and a
loser.
load of pads. Like, have you got pads from when you played American football?
Or like gladiators, where they've got them
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
things.
You'll need an helmet.
Can I have one of them big?
Pugil sticks.
What
Pugil stick.
is that? What it's called? Oh, I thought it was like a big Q-tip.
It does look like a big Q-tip, but no, it's called a...
I found we've
Bugle
done
stick.
real well today to not descend into like.
No,
Pointless
every
chaos.
pod, we look at each other when they're going at each other with a...
Are we blaming them too?
Yeah,
What are
obviously.
you blaming us two for?
It's always
was
you
it.
two.
That was a
That was
conversation, that was
educa-
back and forth.
educational moment for Jimmy.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
think it's the other thing I'll ever teach him, let's be honest, but...
We will keep going on and we'll mention it every week and we'll let people know when Jimmy's going to do the forfeit. And I think we'll probably start looking at updates on how we're doing in the league, but also how the members that are part of the league are as well. We'll maybe do that every week or so.
Yeah.
Do you know? What
I'm asking you because you're in charge of your league, mate.
You can
so
always post
I'm in
it
charge,
on...
you're in charge of the
always post it
league.
up.
I'm in charge of the paperwork.
We'll do it together because we're a team.
Do you know what I've just realised?
Yeah.
It's not like I can just rock up and try and be subtle now, because we've at least got 5 people that watch this. They're going to know what I look like. No one knew what I looked like prior to this.
Oh, they're going to regret finding out what you look like.
Well, yeah, at that, but they're also, they're going to be like, that's that knobhead off. That's not. That
Yes, it is.
not
That is
a swear
absolutely
word.
a swear word.
No, it's not.
The classic sense of a swear word is one rude word and one normal word margined together.
If I'm paying for putting 2 fingers up on the side of my face, the old Peter Kay to you earlier, you're paying for saying that.
That's another £2 in the kitty.
Fine.
But yeah, and we'll update on the league then and what's going on. We'll do it together. So great stuff.
I'll try and figure out how to put it on the screen.
Can
as
we
well.
just clarify Jimmy's Hull FC shirt has to be visible, not like under a
He's
coat?
bought a bigger one.
5XL so that I can fit it over my big.
me?
Like I've got a big winter jacket.
Wearing it on top.
Yeah.
Right, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Right.
He's going to look so cool, isn't he?
I'm gonna look mint.
Look like a Mitchell man. He wants it for them pads that he was just on about from Josh.
Yeah, I'm gonna need them. So. Are we done?
I think that was a success.
Yeah. Oh no, don't you worry. I'll cover that.
Okay, all right.
Thank you very much for watching. Bragging rights.
I've not looked at the camera.
Have you noticed that one? No, yeah, it's been really good. I've really enjoyed it. You enjoyed it?
No.
No?
I could have done the top up halfway through. I think that's the
I've
only
just
problem.
nursed that all the way through.
To be fair, I've only just finished mine, so
Yeah. Oh well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This episode, like I said, sponsored by Ginger Snaps Photography and recorded at Tribal, the new home of the pod. So from me, see you bye.
See you, bye.
See you, bye.
see you bye.